Hey witches, Tiffany here if you don't already know me. Today I'm going to give you 9 magical uses for pumpkins. Now if you're thinking, haven't I seen this video before? Yes, you probably did. I released a very similar video 3 years ago, but I wanted to redo it because one, at the very end of the video is a wonderful pumpkin ritual for the Witch's New Year, and it didn't get the attention that it deserved because it was kind of tossed into the end of that video. I don't know why I did that. So I'm re-releasing both sections of that video as separate brand new videos. That will be out next week for you just in time for the Witch's New Year and Samhain. And as for the rest of that video, well, I thought the introduction was long and clunky, probably like this one is already turning into. So let's get started. By the way, if you're watching this in the future, after the pumpkin video has gotten released, I will link that down below in the description box. And as always, this list will also be on my website, also linked down below in the description box. So if you want to take a look at it later on at your own pace after watching the full video, of course, then you can check that out to do so. Witches and non-witches alike already know that the jack-o'-lantern is carved and lit on the night of October 31st in order to ward off evil spirits. But there are many other magical things you can do with pumpkins both during the autumn season and even during the pumpkin's off-season. Pumpkins correspond to wish fulfillment, abundance, prosperity, gratitude, fertility, and creativity. Use one or more of these suggestions below to manifest any or all of these correspondences into your life. First, I recommend you make a pumpkin pie, pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin bisque, pumpkin milkshake, that's one of my favorites, pumpkin seeds, or you can try my stuffed pumpkin for abundance recipe. I will link that down below. Really, any recipe that calls for pumpkin. And while you're preparing the main ingredient, pumpkin, add your intentions to the mix, whether you wish to split the dish between yourself and your significant other for fertility purposes. I will tell you now, that worked for me last year, heyo! Or share it with your writing group for creative inspiration. Whatever intention you are energetically charging into your dish, you can hoard it all to yourself, hey, no shame in that, or you can share it with others. Next, when you're carving your jack-o'-lantern this year, set aside the seeds and dry them for future use. You might be planning to eat most of them. I love pumpkin seeds, so yeah. But plan ahead to leave a handful unsalted to use in jar spells and charm bags. Or with either a fresh or dried seed, unsalted, whisper your intention to it, then toss it into a moving natural body of water. Next, if you want to incorporate the energy of pumpkins into a candle spell, take a mini pumpkin and carve out the center to the circumference of the base of your candle. Using the pumpkin as a candle holder is a great passive way of including it in your spell. You can also try a different type of jack-o'-lantern. Get creative with your pumpkin carving, or painting if you prefer. Try something other than a face. Possibly a protection symbol, a pentagram, the Helm of Awe, or your own handmade protection sigil or bind rune. The day after Samhain, when your pumpkin is no longer needed, cut off the stem and save it. Just like the dried seeds, this will allow you to keep tapping into pumpkin energy all year round. When you need it for a spell, just use a knife to shave off a bit, grind it in a mortar and pestle if you need it finer ground, and then incorporate it into your spell the same way you would any other herb. Mini pumpkins are great for ongoing use because they tend to last longer than a regular pumpkin. So draw a symbol of what you hope to manifest on it and place it where that energy is needed. So for instance, draw a symbol of your creative pursuit and place it wherever you do your craft or artistry. You could do a symbol for fertility and place it by your bed. Draw a $sign on it and put it in your place of business. If you already plan on decorating with pumpkins anyway, you may as well put their remains to good use when they inevitably begin to decay. On a slip of paper, write down a wish you want to come true before the next Samhain. Bury both the pumpkin and your wish together in your yard and plant something new on top of that, using the pumpkin for compost. Be sure your planted choice is either meant to be planted in autumn or it's a bulb of some sort that will sleep during the winter and sprout in the spring. Bless you, little baby. That was a little baby sneeze. And finally, you can also honor the 4 elements. On the night of Samhain, before you light your jack-o'-lantern, sprinkle a bit of water inside the pumpkin first. That way, you're using the pumpkin to represent the earth, the candle to represent fire, obviously. Wind passing through and feeding the flame represents air, and now you have water. In this way, you honor the elements on the night of the sacred Sabbath. If you have other ways of using pumpkins in your craft, please leave them in the comments below to share with me, give me ideas, give other people ideas, let's all share with each other. If you're checking this out in the future and you're looking for ways to celebrate autumn and the Sabbats of autumn being Mabon and Samhain, you can check out these videos over here.